I used to get in trouble with this a lot at AllSaints, where I'd have assistant designers, and I would be in a buying meeting, and we couldn't decide which leather jacket to buy, and I'd ask the cleaner, and they would get really mad, and they'd go, "Why are you asking the cleaner? You know, we I haven't done a degree at St Martin's for nothing." And I went, "Yeah, that's the problem, mate. You're all from St Martin's, and she is a normal human being. I want to know what someone who hasn't been at St Martin's likes."
Yeah, 100%.
So, I think
that exposure to other people's opinions is important.
Yeah, it's really important because we're not all, all the customers are not all St Martin's graduates.
No, totally. So you worked at Reiss till 19, 20?
28.
28?
So I was there from 18 to 28, yeah.
Wow.
And then
10 busy years.
Yeah, yeah.
And then what made you want to leave?
Well, I don't know. I wanted to do my own brand. I'd been offered several different roles. I'd been offered a job at Joseph as the buyer, but I didn't, but I ended up getting my mate the job, and he ended up traveling around the world buying from, Helmut Lang and all the coolest designers in the world. And I was kind of jealous of that, but I wasn't, I knew that for some reason I had it in my head, if I ever do anything, it's going to be under my own thing. Right. And one of the factories in Hong Kong that we had been doing all the production with came to me and said, "Oh, listen, we've got a £10 million order book, and we're going to give you 10% commission if you become our agent and look after the UK." And I was like, £1 million?
That's big money, no?
I was like, if you've got that much money, I've got a business plan. And I showed them the plan for AllSaints. And they went away, and they came back a couple of months later, and basically on the day that they told me that they were going to fund my own label, I also got given a job, offered a job in New York with a company called Club Monaco. They were Canadian, and when I went to the interview, I said, if you want to be a global brand, you need to open a retail and design office in New York. I'm not moving to Toronto. If you open an office in New York, I'll move there. They rang me on the same day to say, "You've got the job. We've found premises in New York, and we're going to..." And I went, "Oh, fucking hell." And I said, I've been offered to do my own label. And the guy went, "You know what, Stuart? Take the offer, because you know what? If you come and work for me, you all you'll ever think is like, I wish I'd done my own label." And it was great advice. So that was one of the best.
Fair advice as well.
Yeah.
Really fair advice.
I met him about 10 years later. This guy, Joe Mimran. I met him in Paris at Premier Vision, Fabric Fair. He came walking in, went, "Stuart, my God." Look, AllSaints by that point was rocking.
Yeah.
So he was like, "I'm so proud of you, man," and all this. It was really, that was kind of sweet. Yeah. And really I also met Paul Smith shortly after. I met him when I started Reiss at this fabric fair in Paris, and he was on a fabric booth, and he was like, "Stuart, what are you doing here?" And I went, "I'm working." He went, "Where?" And I nodded at David Reiss, and he just looked at me, because they were arch rivals.
Yeah.
And then when I launched AllSaints, I saw Paul Smith at this fabric fair 10 years later, whatever, and he came walking all the way over and tapped me on the back. I turned around and he went, "Congratulations, mate. Good luck." And what? So that was that was really sweet. Yeah, really nice.
So taking the jump to launch AllSaints, so you'd obviously been a part of Reiss when it had been through so much in 10 years.
Yeah.
Where did you start when it came to AllSaints? What was the first step you think you took to starting that brand? I know you got the manufacturer and you got the partnerships in place, but like, what's day one?
Well, day one, so you need this, from zero, you've got to find premises to a design studio. And I had a friend of mine who was external tutor from Nottingham. She had a big loft space in Shoreditch,
nice,
on Worship Street. I'd already worked out that I was going to call it AllSaints,
right?
Because my initials are ST, like Simon Templar, the Roger Moore character. I'm doing that because he drove a Volvo P1800. I bought one when I was 20, drove it around London, still got it. And everybody used to go, it's getting a major respray at the moment.
Awesome.
And it's the most beautiful car. If you get a clip of the car.
Yeah, definitely.
It's the most beautiful car. And everybody used to call me the Saint. So I had a list of names like the Saint, Mr. Saint, ST, I had all these. And when I was on Notting Hill Carnival and I looked up and I thought, AllSaints. That's good. That rhymes, if you say, well, where's your jacket from? All Saints. It's better than Mr. Saint or the Saint or whatever. So I registered that name, but then I got told that the NFL have the New Orleans Saints. You're not going to get it. So I found out that the NFL have an office in London, contacted them, went to see them, showed them the port. The guy went, I love what you're doing. As long as you don't do American football shirts, you got to go ahead from me. So I said, all right, can I get that in writing? And he went, yeah, I'll send it to my secretary. And I went, do you mind if I see it while she types it? I wasn't going to leave the room.
Just in case he changed his mind.
Well, yeah, you never know.
Yeah.
So he did that, signed it, gave it to me, and we were like, oh, man, And so then you sit down in an empty room. So I was in the corner of this huge derelict loft that this tutor had her collection, Italian collection that she designed.
Right.
Within 6 months, she was in the corner, and it was my collection that was there. Wow. I sat down and I had been buying vintage military sort of pieces, like bomber jacket like this,
right?
A flak jacket, Parker, flak, what do they call, cargo pants. And I wanted to limit it to a certain amount of fabric. So I had a nylon like this. I had moleskin, cotton moleskin, and wool flannel. And I basically did the bomber jacket in nylon, moleskin, wool flannel.
Right.
The Parker, nylon, moleskin, and then I did knitwear. I chose 2 yarns, and I put it.
Is that from like a business decision as well as a style decision? Because you knew you could get the fabrics and make that stretch.
I knew that I would be able to meet the minimums if I had 7 styles in one fabric.
Clever.
And I didn't know whether nylon was going to be successful. No one really wore nylon.
Oh, really?
But Prada had just come out with the Prada rucksack. This was in 1994. It was the hottest thing in the world.
Right.
But it was mainly a rucksack. But I loved it. I thought, I'm going to do a whole range in nylon, the Prada nylon. So we did. No one else had done it. Max, Parkers, bomber jackets, field jackets, cargo pads. And we set it up we did Paris Fashion Week, set it all up, and I didn't have any money, so I just banged a nail in the wall and put a hanger on it, and hung a bomber jacket with a scarf and the cargo pants underneath, and I'd got a guy contacted me and said, I heard you're doing your own collection, I can make really great boots. So I'd made boots and I put them underneath. So we had like 8 outfits all lined up.